If you feel bad every time you have sex, you have a rush of guilt and shame that just overpowers you and takes over your emotions. You don't like yourself, you don't like how you feel, and you just feel bad all around after sex. I want to let you know that you are not the only one going through that. So many people experience this, not just women but men as well. I will be diving deep with you, sharing my thoughts on guilt and shame as regards sex, and possibly help you understand why you feel bad every time that you have sex. All right, so if you want to learn about that, hear my views and opinions on that, or you just want to watch this makeup look and see how I created it, and keep on watching. This episode is really fun. I enjoyed filming this one for you. Okay, before I dive into this conversation with you today, I want to let you know what my view is on sex generally, and I share this from time to time in my videos so that you kind of understand. First of all, understand where I'm coming from. First of all, I do honestly, I'm of the opinion that we have been misled, misguided, miseducated about sex. Everything that has to do with sex and our sexuality as human beings, we've been miseducated for a long time, and the problem persists because we don't talk about it. Why do you think I'm always talking about sex? Because nobody wants to talk about it. I mean, well, there's few of us now who talk about sex openly and really don't give a damn what anybody wants to say, because honestly, I don't care. Because if we don't start talking about it, then we will keep on being miseducated for a long time, and this will keep on going for generation to generation. I feel like there's just trauma in the system. There's emotional trauma. There's so much angst and hard, bad emotions that are just held in the space, in the consciousness of our people, especially in places like the countries where I come from. Like, I'm from Nigeria, I live in Nigeria. So you can imagine someone like me, a woman, speaking openly about sex. It's a tough job for me to do this with you guys every single week and try to educate you based on the things that I've found out, based on my life experience and what it is that I'm learning. And it's just like, you know what? Somebody has to do it. So in today's episode, I really want to deal with something that is a big issue, especially for women. Not to say that men do not go through this, because trust me, I've spoken to a lot of men who go through this experience of feeling bad and having guilt and shame around sex. Now, in my view, I hold very highly the thought or the philosophy of waiting until you're married to have sex. Now, if anybody broke that down for us when we were kids and rightly explained the benefits of waiting, then I'm very sure that so many people would have taken up that option of waiting. Now, this is obviously something that is personal from person to person. You're going to have a different life experience from everybody else. Your life experience is your experience. It's personal to you. In my life experience, things happened when I was a child that really got me very exposed to sex. Everything from being molested as a young girl and almost being raped in my teens. All of these things led up to me going through life in such a way that I had to find out things for myself. Alright, first off, let's establish the fact that sex, or when you have sex, is not the only time that you feel guilty or you feel shame. Alright, it's not necessarily about the sex. It's not the sex that is making you guilty or feeling ashamed or feeling bad. It's really about how your actions line up with your belief systems. Okay, there are other things that you do that make you feel bad. There are other decisions that you make in your day-to-day life that make you feel guilty and make you feel ashamed. So it's not just sex, but of course sex is very profound because it's such an intense energy, such an intense energetic field to be in, and it almost feels like you're giving a part of yourself away and you're sharing yourself with somebody else. So it's a really deeper level of guilt and shame that occurs with sex. But I just wanted you to understand that it's not the sex that makes you feel guilty. It's really how your action is lining up with your belief systems. Now, your belief systems are constructs that have been embedded in your psyche, in your consciousness over time. From when you were a child, your belief systems have begun to build. starting with the thoughts that you're thinking, the things that you're seeing. So if you have grown up and accepted thought forms and philosophies and ideologies and constructs from your society, from your school, from your religion, from community, from friends. All of these things will end up forming thought patterns in your brain that will ultimately become what your belief systems will be about. And so if you have belief systems that tell you you shouldn't have sex before you're married, and you're having sex before you're married, this can actually trigger that guilt, because now you are judging yourself because you are going against the grain of your belief systems. So you really have to understand that you are your own judge. All right, every single action that you take gets back into your brain, gets back into your consciousness, and that is then aligned against your or set side by side with your belief systems and things that you have put in as your moral code for your life. And if it doesn't match up, if it doesn't line up, if it feels like you're going against the grain of what you say is right for you, then of course you're going to judge yourself. Also, if you experience some kind of trauma as a child growing up, if you were molested, if you were abused or raped, these are things that can really mess up your mentality around sex, and it can really make you recoil into yourself, or make you push against the grain, make you want to be a rebel and go against everything that you know is right for you, or everything that they told you is right for you. And so you find yourself doing things that you don't want to do, and you know you don't want to do them, but you're doing them because you're fighting the pain from the past. You're fighting the feeling of loneliness that you probably felt through your abuse or through that trauma as a child. And if you don't get yourself to a place soon where you can overcome that and overcome the pain of that and overcome the memory of that to such a place where you can forgive and you can actually let it go and say, you know what, I'm stronger now, I'm better now, I'm healed, then you will keep on taking decisions or making decisions that will make you feel ashamed and make you feel guilty. And you might find yourself, for many girls, it's possible that you would not like sex at all, or when you have sex, you're having sex because you're trying to punish that old you who went through that, because you blame yourself for what happened to you. You also will probably just decide that you're not going to think about it, and this is the way that you're going to deal with the situation, which you're not really dealing with the situation, you're running away from it. You really want to sit away from it and try to understand it. What is it about the situation that makes me feel bad? What is it about the situation that makes me feel ashamed, that makes me feel guilty? And really go into your mind and into your mental space and ask this question, and begin to pull those constructs or those belief systems that are running that action, or lining up against that action to make you feel that guilt or that shame. Now, sex is one of the most beautiful, most powerful, and most natural experiences that we have as humans. As humans on this planet, sex is that one thing that drives all of us. And you know why? It's because it is at the core of our being. It's at the core of our essence, right? That sexual energy, that sexual power that we have is beyond just sex. It is really your life force. It is your life energy. It is your chi. And if you decide that you do not want to expel or disseminate this energy through the physical experience of sex, if you do not want to disseminate this energy that way, then that is a really powerful thing for you to do, to say, you know what, I don't want to go this route. I want to use my energy in some other way. I want to use my energy in some other fashion, or I want to transmute my energy in a different way. Now, when you sit with yourself and you really question yourself, why is this happening? Why do I feel bad? What is it about this experience of sex with this person that is making me feel bad? Am I feeling bad because I was selfish in the sexual acts with this person? Am I feeling bad because I know I shouldn't have had sex with this person? Am I feeling bad because just every time I have sex I feel bad? You want to run that question in your mind and just go back in time. Honestly, for everybody who tries this, they find something in the past that always triggers that emotion of shame or that guilty feeling. There's something in your past that's always triggering that, or something in your belief system that's always triggering that. And so you want to come face to face with it. For instance, if you have the belief system that you should stay celibate, or you should stay in your power until you get married. That means you should wait until you get married and you have sex. Of course you feel bad, of course you feel guilty, you feel shame. And so you want to sit down with yourself and say, okay, why do I have this belief system? Is this belief system true for me, or is it something that is true for me, or is it something that I picked up from school, from church, from my parents? These belief systems, especially if it's not something that you chose for yourself as a moral code consciously, then it will keep on hunting you. So think about this and really go back into your conscious space and think about what your belief systems around sex are, and find out for yourself if these are constructs that you created for yourself, or if these are just things that you picked up from somewhere. You probably picked it up from your religious circles, you picked it up from your community, you picked it up from school or from your parents, and so every time that you indulge, or every time that you experience sex, it triggers that. It makes you feel guilty, it makes you feel bad. And so you want to check those belief systems and decide for yourself, are these systems true for me? Are these beliefs true for me? Or are they things that I just took from external sources? And then when it comes to sex, personally, you want to create your own belief systems. You want to create your own codes of conduct when it comes to sex. You want to have your own moral codes, because if you don't have your own moral codes, then you will be, let me not use the word wayward, but that's really what it is. You'll be wayward. You want to have your own moral codes around sex, because trust me, sex, your sexuality is such a powerful thing. It's such a beautiful, powerful thing that if you don't have your own moral codes around it, you will do things that you don't want to do, or you do things that your spirit innately does not want to do, your higher self does not want to do. Now, as a human being, you have your own moral codes, you have your own codes, you have your own belief systems. Your higher self has its own plans for you. And so even away from the things that you're doing that is not aligning with your personal belief systems as a human, there are things that you do that does not align with your higher self. And so when you do those things, your higher self sends a trigger to you that makes you feel that guilt from the top of you, from the higher version of you, from the higher part of you. And so when that happens, it's really the you in a higher dimension saying to you, you're not doing the right thing right now. Check yourself. Because look, in this world, you're your own judge. You are your own judge. And so think about this, and don't feel bad. Don't feel bad about it, because trust me, you're not the only one who's going through this. So many people deal with these issues. I'd love to read from you. I want to know, why do you think you feel bad every time that you have sex? It's wonderful for us to read from people going through the same things. If you're a guy, if you're a girl, let us know. Let us know, why do you feel bad every time why do you think you feel bad every time that you have sex? The reason I'm asking you to leave it in the comments is because when you type it out, you're really connecting to that part of you that will reveal the answers to you, and it's important for you to know those answers. So just expose it, be raw, be vulnerable, let it out, and allow these things to flow through you so that you can really understand what the root cause of this guilt or shame really is. For most people, it's really the belief system that they've had since when they were children. We must come to the understanding that when sex is happening between two people, or however you think you want to have sex, when sex is going on, there is a big ball of energy. There's like an energetic field that embraces these two people that are dancing in divinity. All right, that's how I see it. And so when you are supercharged in this field of energy, guess what? This energetic field is attracting forces like itself onto it, because energy will attract that which is like unto itself. And so if you are having sex from a low vibrational state, you're going to attract low vibrational entities to dance in that play with you. And so if you're having sex with someone that you're not supposed to be having sex with, possibly you're just doing it out of lust and you're just trying to have quick pleasure, and these are really low these are really low experiences of sex, because sex is such a high vibrational thing that if you're not doing it in an atmosphere of pure love and pure selflessness and giving and sharing and communing and taking and giving and sharing, right, with someone that is really into you, someone that you really love and care about, and you're not doing it in a wholesome, loving place, then what it means is that you're doing it in a low place of being. You're doing it from a low state of your being. And in that low state, that energetic field that surrounds you when you are having sex is going to attract energetic beings of the same frequency, beings in the lower states, spirits and spirit beings in that low vibrational field as well. And those spirit beings, they come with all their traumas, they come with all their emotional baggage and all the rubbish and murk that they come with. And you find that you feel depleted, you feel like you've lost energy. That's because you are not the only spirit enjoying that energy. There are other spirits that are feasting in that low vibrational sex place. And so when you open this portal of sex in a low vibrational state, you're also inviting low vibrational beings into that energy to feast with you. And when they come, they don't come and go without leaving you the murk that they have. So they leave you the murk, they leave you that emotional murk, they leave you all that dirt and all that grime and all that energetic minus, you know, like depleting your energy, which is why sometimes you feel like you've lost so much energy from just having sex. Like you don't feel good and your energy is just way down and you just feel so weak. That's because you've invited lower astral entities into that space with you. And this is why it is so important that we not only think about sex like this physical thing, because that's what is being touted around, you know, on TV, in the media, in music. It's like, oh, this thing that everybody should enjoy. No, it's beyond physical. It is spiritual. It is energetic. It is magnetic. It is a big force of nature, of life. And so you must enjoy it and experience it in a wholesome state of love and pure bliss and pure selflessness and care and just an abundance of love. All right, so if that's not the place where you're having sex from, then you're going to be inviting these beings into your space, into your energetic field, and they will leave you gifts. They will leave you gifts of stress, of pain, of shame, of guilt, and you will feel these things. So please, I implore you, take care of your energy, take care of your sex. It is yours. Own it, take care of it. Do not give it without thinking. Do not give it without consulting with your own emotional guidance system, with your own higher self. Make sure that you're doing things that are serving you. All right, I hope this video was helpful for you. If you did find it helpful, please leave a comment below, share your thoughts, share your experiences, share your stories. We want to read from you, we want to learn from you. This is why I'm building this community, so that we can learn from each other and we can grow out of our struggles and help other people who are struggling as well. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know what you thought of the makeup look. I enjoyed creating it for you. I enjoyed spending this time with you. It is always a pleasure. Thank you for your time. I appreciate you. I love you so much. I send you so much love. I send you so much love. And I'm excited to see you in my next video. Make sure you subscribe so you don't miss that one. I'll see you soon. Bye.